Do you remember when I said that I was gonna start vlogging more regularly? No, good, excellent, neither do I, it never happened. Since I last did a vlog, I have been to 2 different countries. Actually soon it might count as having been to 3 different countries because I also went to Edinburgh and yeah. I don't blame you, Scotland. First country was the Czech Republic because I went to Prague with my archery club at university. Every year we go on tour which involves going to another country for a week and doing lots of fun stuff. It used to actually involve doing archery, but recently it hasn't. The last video that I put up was my trip to Budapest, which was last year's tour, and yes, that video was very late and very long in the making. So there will also be a video for the Prague tour which I will hopefully get done soon, and it should hopefully be quite funny because one of the things we did in Prague was go bobsledding, which didn't always involve me staying on the sled. The second country I went to was Denmark, which was a very much spur of the moment thing with 2 of my friends who were basically like, hey, we found some really cheap flights to Copenhagen, would you like to come? And I was like, yeah, sure. So we actually went kind of backpacking, which was really awesome because just outside of Copenhagen there's sort of a big kind of nature reserve area. I'm not quite sure what the Danish equivalent is of, say, our national parks in the UK. And in that they have things called shelters, which are essentially kind of wooden hut things that are raised off the ground but have no fourth wall. So they are technically just open to the world on one side, but they do provide shelter from rain and most of the wind, and anyone can just turn up and camp there. So because we were flying cheap hand luggage only flights, we basically just rocked up with a sleeping bag and some spare pants. And it was really good fun. It was like nothing that I've ever done before, and we did actually go into Copenhagen every day and we went to some museums and stuff, and I had a great time. There won't be a video of that, which I'm kind of disappointed about because I kind of like having these Happy Sammy on tour videos as a way to document where I've been travelling because I really enjoy travelling. But the reason that there's no video is because we were camping and so there was no electricity to charge camera batteries. Although we did actually quite regularly go into the tourist information centre in the middle of Copenhagen just to charge our phones. Oh, the other cool thing that we did in Copenhagen was rent bikes. There's a company called Bicycling from which you can rent bikes, and these bikes are just scattered around the sea. It's, I suppose, a bit like the Boris Bikes initiative that you will be familiar with if you live in the UK. To me they were really cool because one, they were electric bikes, and I've never ridden an electric bike before. It's great, fantastic, although to be fair, you really don't need it because in Copenhagen there is no such thing as a hill, and they had like fairly sizable screens attached to the front, so they had satellite navigation and could connect to the internet, so you could link it to your Twitter account and send tweets, which is what I did. Here is the one tweet that I sent just for the novelty of being able to tweet from a bike. Then, as I said, the technically third country that we went to was Scotland, because instead of flying back to London where we flew out from, we flew back into Edinburgh because why not? Edinburgh is lovely. So I spent a day in Edinburgh and we climbed up Arthur's Seat, which was amazing, although slightly less amazing because of the whole having to carry around a big backpack. That did kind of take away from the experience just a little bit. Then I took a very picturesque train journey down the east coast to Durham and was at home for a weekend, and then came back to uni where I'm back to work, unlike the 2 friends that I went to Copenhagen with. So when you do a research degree, you don't get a summer holiday. That's what I've been up to recently. I am not going to promise more videos because that never works, so I'll just say TTFN.